Okay, look. I just want to thank Senator Doherty, O'Reilly and Chambers, and to commend them for this bill. We know that there's a serious level of underreporting of gender-based violence and sexual assault and rape. There's a very high threshold or momentum required to report it. And I'm very mindful of my own experience as an officer in the Defence Forces, investigating the experiences of my female colleagues, to find that the sexual violence within our armed forces was systemic and systematic, to the extent that 1 in 4 of our serving personnel could expect to be sexually assaulted within the workplace. And despite that report, my PhD, its findings, its recommendations, the subsequent independent government inquiry which investigated it and which vindicated it, and then the subsequent independent monitoring groups. In September of last year, we had the Women of Honour repeat their disclosures. And the point I'm making here is that those women had to come forward and identify themselves. It's the first time I'm aware of in the history of this issue that women from the Defence Forces have come forward and actually, I suppose, given up their anonymity to press home the immediacy and the urgency of that issue. And it's really important because it is clear after the disclosures of the Women of Honour and then the subsequent reports to me and others from serving personnel, young men, mostly women, but some young men in our Naval Service, Air Corps and Defence Forces, that it remains 22 years after the original research a persistent problem in our Defence Forces, which purports to protect and defend our citizens. And yet our Defence Forces is not a safe place for 51% of our population. And one of the reasons that it is so difficult for women to come forward and to report on their experiences, as set out here, is because of the existence of, well, first of all, to begin with, a very adversarial system, but also within that, a device where, not based in evidence, where it's capricious, idiosyncratic, it's contrived, where somebody can come forward and produce a character reference, inverted commas. So I think that this is a really commendable bill. I fully support it. And again, I know that much reference has been made to the fact that it's 3 female senators who brought this forward. But just to reassure you that, we're all in this together. And I think it's really important that men stand up and call it out and invest the same energy in calling out the perpetrators as they do in calling out people like you who want to speak truth to power and want to speak up about their experiences, and to, that energy should be invested in, identifying and protecting the rest of civil society from the perpetrators. So I really welcome it and I support it. And again, just to thank you. Thanks very much.